Hello everyone. How's it going? This is Azrin here coming to you with another soft skills training video. As you can tell by my background, I'm currently sitting somewhere different from where I usually sit when I record these videos. In fact, I'm all the way on the other side of the world today. I'm in Taipei. Something you may not know about me is I travel a lot. To date, I've traveled to approximately 120 cities across North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. I live abroad for about 1 to 2 months a year, as a way for me to practice another language, because I do like to learn languages. I speak 5 languages right now, and as a way for me to expand my horizons overall. It's very personally rewarding for me. When I go on these 1 to 2 month long trips, I typically pick a city as a home base, and I try to establish a routine within that city. I'm not doing a lot of sightseeing. It's not exactly a vacation. The routine might look something like signing up for some foreign language classes and going to class every day and maybe doing some volunteering. I try to have a routine within my home base. So that's a fun fact about me you may not have known. Today, I would like to talk about 2 different things I've always done early in my interview process to help me select the right people for my team. Now, I've run 2 separate businesses over the past 12 and a half years. The first one was a residential window cleaning business. In other words, I ran a business, it was a franchise, that cleaned the windows on people's homes. Again, I did that for 5.5 years. The second business, which I currently run to this day, from 2016 onwards, 7 years as I'm recording this, is a foreign language teaching business. So we teach languages to other people. And no matter what position I've hired for, whether it was a window cleaner, a sales type of position, a marketing position, maybe someone for administrative work, a management position, whatever the position, there are always 2 constants early on in the hiring process. The first constant is I always have a red flag meeting. A red flag meeting is a chance for me to figure out if there's anything that disqualifies the applicant right away from the job that they have applied for. For example, in that red flag meeting, if I were hiring a part-time Japanese instructor, for example, maybe the instructor doesn't live in my city, and I was looking for someone who lives in my city. That's very quickly something that I can find out and immediately disqualifies the applicant. Another example might be I was hiring someone for that part-time Japanese instructor position. I was looking for someone that owned a vehicle so they can drive to a client's home and teach in-home lessons. But maybe that person doesn't even have a driver's license. That might disqualify the individual right off the bat, and I can figure that out quite quickly. The red flag meeting is also a chance for the applicant to figure out if there's anything about the position that immediately disqualifies that job for them as somewhere to work. For example, maybe I was looking for an administrative assistant, and it was a part-time job, but the applicant, for some reason, thought it was a full-time job. Well, when they come to that red flag meeting, that's what I call it, when they come to that meeting, they might initially pretty quickly find out, oh, this is a part-time job? Why did I think it was full-time? I was looking for full-time work. And they might remove themselves from the interview process relatively quickly. So essentially, this red flag meeting is an open conversation, as open as possible, between myself and the applicant, just to figure out how much of a fit is there between what they're looking for and what I'm looking for. Is there a pretty good fit? Yes or no? This is a very important part of the process for me. And this is prior to the interview itself. Now, one thing I do, you guys may actually probably don't know this because I've never said it in a video, but one thing I'm always happy to do, if you work at a company and you want me to help you create a template to follow, almost like a step-by-step guide on how you can have these red flag meetings in your company, I'm more than happy to have a chat with you and to help you create that step-by-step guide in a customized way for your company or for your industry. So you're more welcome to visit my website. It's azren.me, very easy. It's AZ or ZREN.me, M-E. Go to that website. You can contact me, email me directly from there, and we can discuss that further. Now, the second constant, the second thing that's always constant, and no matter what position I'm hiring for, is I will incorporate the job they're applying for into the interview process. Here's something you probably know this if you've hired people in the past. Someone might sound great in the interview, but when they start working, you quickly realize that you didn't hire the right person for the job. And so by incorporating the job itself into the interview process, it reduces the chances of that happening. Let me give you 2 examples of how I've done that in the past. When I ran a window cleaning franchise and I would be hiring for a residential window cleaner, I would actually bring the window cleaner onto a job site. They would come onto a real active job site. I would show them around. I would show them the house that we're working on. I would show them, for example, the people on the ladders. I would show them the equipment we use. I showed them everything. I would teach them some parts of the job that were safe for me to teach them. I would show them how to clean like a ground floor window, for example. I would have them clean ground floor windows even as well. That was one part of the actual interview. That way, they get to get a glimpse into the job itself. Because here's the thing, sometimes people think that they want to work somewhere, but once they start working there, they realize that they really don't like it. And that sucks for the employer. It's no fun for the employer because they work there for a month and then they quit, and then you have to restart the hiring process to fill that position again. It's not fun at all. So by incorporating the job in whatever capacity you can into the interview process, the applicant might realize that they don't like that job before they ever sign a contract and start working. On the other side, I also get to see how that employee might work in the position. What kind of employee are they going to be? I get some initial hints about that by incorporating the job into the job interview. For example, if I see a window cleaner who was cleaning a window and they're getting frustrated because they're not doing it right, because maybe they don't have a ton of experience cleaning windows the way that my business would clean windows, for instance, and they're getting very frustrated very easily, I now have that as an insight. Does that make sense? And maybe I decide, okay, this person's not right for the job, or maybe I decide, okay, they get frustrated easily, I'll have to work with them on that. Here's another example of how I've incorporated the job itself into the interview. In my current business, the Calgary Language Nerds, when a language instructor applies for a language teaching job, what I will do for their interview is I have them teach an actual class for a real Calgary Language Nerds student. So it looks something like this. There's a class being taught usually by me, but sometimes another instructor. I will have a meeting with the applicant to help them prepare for the class. I tell them who the student is, what they've taught, what the level is, just so that they're prepared, because they can't walk in blind and teach a class. It's not fair to them. They get to prepare a lesson. They teach the actual class. I observe them teach. And then afterwards, I make a decision on if I would like to hire the person based on what I saw in the class. I have a little bonus part of the job interview where if what I saw in the class that the applicant taught, how do I say this? If I wasn't satisfied with the applicant in that initial interview, I will tell the applicant, hey, here are 3 things I saw that indicate to me that I don't think you'd be right for this position. However, I'm willing to let you try again. I'm willing to let you teach another class, and if you can make some progress or fix those 3 things, the job is yours. That's something I personally do because I want to see if the person is able to make progress when I give them feedback on something. I also want to see how they take feedback. So that's a little bonus tip. Maybe you can find a way to incorporate something like that in your company. Again, if you want me to work with you and create a personalized plan or a step-by-step plan for your interview process, whether it's that red flag meeting or whether it's the interview itself, the questions to ask, how to incorporate the job into the interview itself, I'm more than happy to help you out with that. Just go to my website, azren.me. That's azren.me.me. And you can contact me directly through my website, and we can chat further about it. So again, to summarize this lesson here, let's sum it all up. Number 1, I always have that red flag meeting. I have as open as a conversation as I possibly can to figure out if there's any red flags about the applicant that disqualifies them. And it gives the applicant a chance to figure out if there's anything about me or the position, well, not me, obviously, but the position itself, the job, the company, etc., that disqualifies this position in their eyes and indicates to them they should look elsewhere. Essentially, we're just trying to figure out, are you looking for the same thing that I'm looking for? Is there a good match between what you're looking for in a job and what I'm looking for in an applicant? Do those fit? And then number two, in whatever the interview process is, right? Every job has different processes. Every company is a different process. I do like to incorporate the job itself in as much as in whatever capacity I'm able to into the actual interview, because it reduces the chance of the person getting the job and then either me realizing, oh crap, I hired the wrong person, or the individual thinking to themselves, oh my God, I don't like this job. What have I gotten myself into? It reduces the chance of that happening. Hope you guys like this training video here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. See you.